I got everything broken down during that period of time where basically it stopped raining. It's starting to pick back up again, but it's not too bad. Ultimately, everyone, when it comes to being in the outdoors, everything that you do is a judgment call. And you're not going to know whether or not you've made a good call or a bad one until you do it. That's why you have to think about everything very carefully and then make a decision and rock and roll. So folks, I've made my decision and it's time for me to go. Wish me luck. My friends, welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. I hope you all are doing well. Woo! I tell you what, folks, the forecast for this trip has completely gone out the window. I mean, it's just crazy how off it was. The forecast said that rain was coming in around 5 o'clock this afternoon. Wrong. It started raining at 9 a.m. The same forecast stated that the temp today was going to be around 54 degrees. Right now it is 36 degrees. And I can tell you this much, it is super windy. Combine this moisture, these temperatures, it's cold. What a mess, folks. What a mess. Originally I was going to hike in a bit and set up a new camp, but now that I'm here and I'm considering these conditions, I think I'm going to set up my camp right here. I think that makes a lot of sense. First things first, let's get a tarp set up. It looks like the rain is coming to an end, at least for now. It's still dripping from the trees, but it's not bad. The tarp is almost set up. All I need to do is put a support pole in it, and I should be good to go. Luckily, I have a stick here that will work perfectly. I cut this some months back. For now, everyone, this is going to work nicely. I do have some wind coming in this way, and I can seal this up if I need to. I have some additional ground sheets that I could tie to this tarp and then stake out. Basically, I can create like a sort of wall system. Now check this out, everyone. The wall has been set up and it's doing an amazing job at blocking the wind. I mean, this is just about calm inside of this now. hearing thunder. Okay, folks, I have camp completely set up now, and this is pretty sweet. What I have here is a tarp shelter with walls. I decided to go ahead, put an additional wall on this, just for that added protection, and the reason is this. Later on tonight, going into tomorrow, we're talking about strong winds. In fact, at 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow starts a high wind warning, with winds up to 70 miles per hour. I mentioned a few minutes ago that I was hearing some thunder, and I am. Take a look at the radar here. We are that blue dot, and you could see all of that action to our north. So we are close enough to that we can hear the thunder. But at the moment, it's not raining, so that's a good thing, I guess. Being able to hear the thunder without getting soaked, yeah, I'll take it. With that being said, though, later on tonight, it is supposed to rain, and by tomorrow morning around like 5 o'clock or something, it's supposed to storm. Is that going to happen? I don't know. We shall see. It's actually starting to sprinkle right now, but it shouldn't be anything more than that. Anyways, the forecast for this trip is without a doubt crazy. Crazy because it's so incorrect, and also because of the winds that are coming in. So my plan with this trip is to go to bed early, get up early, and get out of here early. I don't want to be on top of this mountain when the winds hit 70 miles an hour, so it's my hope to get everything packed up when it's still dark and to bounce out of here. Where I'm camping at is an old forest, so anytime there's strong winds, tons and tons of trees come down. That's why I want to get out of here before it gets too windy. As far as my tent goes, I went with an interesting product, a military product. This is from Corinthia, and this is a Gore-Tex tent. This is what the company calls the Micro Tent Plus. And over the years, the price of this thing has continued to go higher and higher and higher. I mean, it's made from Gore-Tex, so imagine a Gore-Tex jacket. Just the jacket alone, $300, $400, $500, $600. Now think of an entire tent made of Gore-Tex. The last time I looked, this tent was around $1,000. And as you can see, it is a micro tunnel tent, more of a bivvy than a tent really. But this is a product that I like. I don't use it very often, but I have to say it is definitely cool. I was thinking about the weather and the conditions, and I decided not to be lazy, so I'm going to grab my saw and begin gathering some firewood. Later on tonight, I would like to have a fire, and potentially even tomorrow morning. So let's do this while the forest is at least somewhat dry. As you all can see here, I've gathered quite a bit of firewood and I've processed a good bit. I've pretty much left all of the smaller stuff, the stuff that I could break with my hands or I could break over my knee. I will process that wood as I go and as I need it. By the way, everyone, you may have noticed that I've kept my rain pants on, and that's for multiple reasons. It's really not raining all that much, it's sprinkling, but more than anything, these are blocking the wind. I'm also staying warmer because of these. And I can kneel down on the wet ground and do what I need to do, and I don't have to worry about getting my pants wet. The saw that I brought with me on this trip is this Silky, and everyone, I have to say, I really love this saw. The Laplander is very good, but this is like next level. It is fantastic. It's kind of funny. I had to take my rain pants off here because they're really silky, and so is this stool. So if I'm not careful, I just slide around like that. A long time ago when my daughter was a little girl, we had like silk sheets on the bed. And I remember this time she like ran into the bedroom, like jumped on the bed, she slid straight across into the wall and broke her arm. It was literally the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I'm in the bedroom, here's the door, here's the bed, she comes running in and I'm watching her jump, slide into the wall. I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh man. That's what it's like to have kids. Gonna have a quick snack here. I have some almonds. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cheers, my friends. Some nice hot coffee on a cold afternoon. At the moment, it's not raining, but man, it is getting windy. Or, woman, it is getting windy. That is perfect. The stove that I'm using for this trip is from Soto. That is a Japanese stove, a cassette stove. It's really an uncommon stove, and I absolutely love it. It runs on butane, it performs really, really well. It does great in the wind. It's a nice piece of kit. I'm not sure how it sounds to you all, but it's roaring here. I could barely hear myself think, it's so loud. And the thing is, like, the tarp isn't even moving, it's just the sound of the wind. Not only is it windy, but it's also fairly chilly. To be honest, I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, this could be the last taste of, like, winter. I don't know. This winter was strange. For us on the East Coast, it was really, really warm. We didn't have any snow. It was just a weird winter. I don't know. The point is, I should enjoy this while I can. It's not going to last long. By the way, everyone, this is a product that I've been testing out this winter. This is a face mask from Fjallraven, or Fjallraven, or however you want to pronounce it. I pronounce it like a country boy from the South, which that's what I am, so. As you all can see, it works great as a neck gaiter, keep your neck warm, but when you need it, it can become a face mask. I'm not entirely sure what the temperature is. I would say about 40 degrees. It has gone up just a little bit since I got here, but nonetheless, it's a chilly evening. I decided to go ahead and fire up this stove here. It's windy, but yet the tarp is capturing all of this heat. And because I have these walls set up, I mean, it's just super, super warm in here. You wouldn't think that this shelter would hold so much heat, even with this side open, but it does. I'm sure you all have noticed how large this stove is. It's about 4.5, 5 inches wide, and it's about 8 inches long. I purchased this not so much to cook on, even though you can, and I am, but more as a fire pit. The thing about this that I've noticed so far is that it burns the hell out of the ground. The ground here is absolutely toasted. I'll have to come up with a solution in the future, but so far I do like this. As far as the time goes, it's now 6 o'clock. The sun will be down in about an hour and 15 minutes. I figured I would go ahead and make dinner, and that way I could pretty much call it a night as soon as dark comes. Again, everyone, I want to get up really, really early and get out of here. That's the smart thing to do. It's amazing how warm it is inside of that shelter there. I mean, it's got to be like 70 degrees. It truly is amazing. I've got to let that just die down a little bit. As far as the conditions go, right now it's just windy. It's not raining at all. I'll go ahead and check the forecast, even though there's no point because it's always wrong. Showers likely mainly after 2 a.m. Low around 52. We know that's not true. Tonight, ½ inch of rain. Tomorrow, ¼ inch of rain. It is time to eat, folks. Oh yeah. That looks good, smells good. Let's see if it is good. Oh yeah. Basically, this is spaghetti, and it is fantastic. Yesterday, everyone, the Bigfoot special went up, and I guess for you all, it's been a few weeks. That has been very, very interesting. First off, I was a little bit worried about how it was going to be perceived, because we're talking about a controversial subject. You have people who are die-hard believers, they believe in it. Then you have the opposite side, the people who don't believe in it. I mentioned in that Bigfoot episode that I'm more of a skeptic. I personally haven't seen any evidence ever that would lead me to believe that Bigfoot is out there. Since that episode went up yesterday, I have received literally hundreds and hundreds of messages and emails. People who believe in it, people who don't believe in it. I've received emails from people sending in evidence. And I have to say, unfortunately, with all of the evidence that I've seen, I don't see anything there that proves that Bigfoot exists, unfortunately. I received messages where people were saying that I overlooked evidence, such as the way that some sticks were stacked or a pile of rocks or something like that. My friends, you cannot count that sort of stuff as evidence, because you're talking about an old forest, a dense forest. Things break, gravity, you have limbs coming down, they will land any which way. So you can have this big pile of brush, you could have this big pile of twigs, sticks, rocks, all sorts of stuff, and it doesn't mean anything. That's not evidence. Or at least, folks, that's how I see things. It's not my place to tell you all anything. If you believe in Bigfoot, that's awesome. If you have some evidence that you believe in, that's great. If someone has an actual photo of Bigfoot, contact me. I'm not going to share it with anyone else, I just want to see it. But luckily, everyone, the point of all this is that everyone has been super, super cool. And I've heard from people from both ends of the spectrum. Those who believe, those who don't, and everyone loved that episode. So there will be another one, and they will be coming up in the future, probably in a few months. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. If you didn't see the Bigfoot special, I recommend that you check it out. It was pretty interesting. It started off with me going off trail, going through the forest where I had some odd experiences in the past. I talked about those experiences in that episode. I'm not going to do so here. So as I'm going along, I keep finding signs. I could tell that something's been through the area. And then what do you know? I come across a pile of bear scat. And that scat relates to the signs that I saw in the forest. I think it's entirely possible that the experiences that I've had in the forest are with a large black bear. That makes perfect sense. I will say that I've never heard a bear make that noise before, but that doesn't mean anything. When it comes to being deep in the forest, when it comes to animals, you'll be surprised at the noises that they make. Some animals mimic the sound of crying children and women. When you hear it, it will scare the hell out of you. But in the end, it's nothing more than an animal. Plain and simple. Anyways, everyone, I wanted to mention that. I do appreciate all of the feedback. I really do appreciate you all. You all are awesome. All of a sudden, everyone, it's gone green. The sky is a real powerful shade of green. Typically what you see before like a strong thunderstorm. That's interesting and ominous. It is raining just a little bit, and I do mean just a little bit. A few moments ago, the sky turned green, and now it's getting very foggy. And it sounds like there may be a thunderstorm 2 hours south. This fire feels so nice, folks. It's making all the difference in the world. It's a cold rain out there, nice fire, hearing some thunder. It's pretty sweet. Originally, Susie was going to go out for a trip tonight instead of me. But when we woke up this morning and saw how strong the winds were going to be, we decided to change things up just a little bit. But her adventure should be coming up next week. She's headed to Lone Wolf Mountain with the Gazelle tent. That should be interesting. Susie's the one who actually ordered that tent. So we received it, we set it up, she looked it over, and she was not impressed. The overall quality of that tent is very poor. Like the overall construction, the fit and finish, it does not look good, not at all. That's rather surprising considering just how expensive that tent is. It'll be interesting to see whether or not Susie likes that tent. Good evening, everyone. It is about 10:30 now. I'm inside of the tent, going to call it a night. As you all can see, it's chilly enough. I don't know, about 38, 37 degrees, something like that. Super, super windy out there. But overall, it's been a peaceful night. Just been sitting next to the fire, having a good time. Just thinking, you know what I mean? I think that's what I like to do best when I'm out on a camping trip. Being able to get away, turn your mind off on the nonsense and focus on what's important. I think that's like the greatest gift to camping, at least for myself. Yeah, everyone, I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to set my alarm for about 4 o'clock in the morning. And we'll see what happens as far as the weather goes. It's still raining, dripping, foggy, something out there. I will see you all in the morning. 4 o'clock comes early. So good night for now. See you in the morning. Good morning, everyone. It is now 4:30. I got up a little bit before 4. I took a look at the radar, and there is a massive line of storms coming this way. In fact, there's a tornado warning not too far from here. We are the blue dot. That's that line of storms coming in. That red mark right there, which is not too terribly far away, that's a tornado warning. We have severe thunderstorm warnings down here. Oh yeah, it's coming. I tell you what, while I would love to sit around this fire, I think I'm going to go ahead and break down the tent real quick. I think that's a good idea. Take care of things as much as possible, just in case I need to like hunker down. You never know. This entire setup here may be coming down. I just need to be prepared, so I'm going to do that. You all enjoy the fire. I'll be back in a minute. Alright folks, I have the tent broken down. For the most part, all I have to do is just take down the tarps and I'm ready to go. That took about 10 minutes. During that 10 minutes, it actually started raining. It's still working its way through the canopy here, so on your next camping trip, you should set your alarm for 4 o'clock in the morning. And like at 4 o'clock on the dot, get up, get a fire going. It sounds miserable. And there's a part of it that is, but there's a part that's a lot of fun too. I can tell already that once I have this coffee done, I'll have to let this fire go out. The wind direction has changed. Instead of coming up from the south, it's now just like all over the place. So sitting underneath this really isn't possible. There's just simply too much smoke. Yeah, there's nothing I can do to stop that right now. Nothing feasible, anyway. But hey, at least we'll have coffee in a few minutes. That will be nice. Cheers, everyone. Cheers. Top of the morning to you. Some really strong coffee to get this morning off right. As far as the rain, it just comes and goes. Little shower here, little shower there. But as it stands, that line of storms is on the way. Let's see if I can gauge when it'll be here. Oh, it's almost here. Again, we are that blue dot. Here it comes. It'll be raining in about 5 minutes. This is what excites me. I love the weather. I love the unknown. I love mixing up coffee and drinking it. That's what I like. As far as the fire goes, that's it. No more wood. I'm going to let that thing burn out. Plus, it's going to be pouring here in a few minutes, so it's done. It's here. As you all can hear, it's windy. At the same time, it is raining, but it's not too bad. With these storms that are coming in, basically they're dying off as they approach the mountains. So we'll see if they make it or not, if any do. As of right now, the fire's out. I decided to put my rain gear on just to hold in some heat. It's getting really, really foggy up here. We're definitely up in the clouds. It is update time, everyone. It is now almost 6 o'clock in the morning, and it is super, super windy. Luckily, inside of this shelter here, I'm fully protected. It's pretty amazing, really. So the question becomes, when should I get out of here? It looks like there may be a break here in a few minutes that will last a few minutes. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I'm not sure. As of right now, we are under a high wind warning. Check this out. Southwest winds 25 to 40 miles an hour with gusts up to 70 miles an hour expected. Locally, higher gusts are possible, especially up here. So what I'm thinking is, I could say goodbye to you all, put the camera up, break all of this down, and hike out of here. Sunrise is in about an hour. I'm going to think about this for a second. I'm not sure. I think what makes the most sense is to get out before this front gets here. Even though I want to see the thunderstorms, I want to see what happens, it's best to get out of here before the winds really pick up. Yeah, they're getting stronger, folks. I've got to call this. Woo. This adventure is coming to an end. I basically have everything broken down underneath the tarp. Now it's time to say goodbye to you all, break the rest of this down, and head out of here. Now, unfortunately, well, I guess I can film just a little bit. I have the GoPro, so, alright, I will break all of this down. I'll see you all in just a minute. I got everything broken down during that period of time where basically it stopped raining, so that's nice. It's starting to pick back up again, but it's not too bad. Ultimately, everyone, when it comes to being in the outdoors, everything that you do is a judgment call, and you're not going to know whether or not you've made a good call or a bad one until you do it. That's why you have to think about everything very carefully and then make a decision and rock and roll. So folks, I've made my decision and it's time for me to go. Wish me luck. I better say this now. Everyone, thank you very much for joining me for this trip. I appreciate you all. Hit the like button before you go. If you want to support the channel, you could do so. Patreon, YouTube. You could join the Wolf Pack. Bye, folks. I love it.